1 minute warning!
To the Goofball Army out there, hi at the families, tell them to get to the next room, tell them to go to your neighbors, because we got Goofball news to go over, and it might get crazy!
Typically does, guys. If it's your first episode ever, you got like 30 seconds before we start, so not enough time to go to the bathroom, but go get a drink, because trust me, you're probably going to need it there. In the meantime, the rest, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. That way you know about future episodes as well, guys. Buckle your seatbelts if you haven't already. Make sure your tray is in the upright position here, guys, because we are just about ready to get going. And like, whew.
Guys, if you want a crazy ride going forward, a bunch of nonsense, but all nothing but the truth about the Giants, listen in, buckle in, tell a friend.
Let's go.
And now, here are your Goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, the New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm Rob, and we suck again.
Yeah, nothing new. We're kind of used to that, right?
Sadly, for the past couple of years, yeah.
I mean, par for the course here, guys. For those who did not watch the game and just wanted to hear what happened afterwards, the Giants lost 34 to 24.
34. Yeah, 34-24.
So, yeah, we got already started here with here we got Pedro Z Auto Repair says, get Bowen the F out of here. Deb, what's up? Deb says, we suck. I'll let you explain in more technical terms. I think that
we suck again.
Very well, though. Like that really.
I know it's crazy. North Carolina Panthers just won. Green Bay sucks too. Green Bay sucks.
You're just trying to get yourself in trouble. You can't date a Packers fan and then flip out when they lose to the Panthers and they lose to the Browns and they almost lose to the Cardinals. And I'm just kind of helping you out now, aren't I? But let's talk about the Giants here, because there's a lot to really dive into. But when it really boils down to it's the same problem the Giants have had in my eyes for the dawn of time. Two things: the coaching sucks, and we can't stay healthy. Like, those are the two biggest things right there.
It's the coaching sucks. Listen, look at look at North Carolina. 22. Jesus, I can't get them out of my head. Sorry. Look at the Niners. 22 injuries. People on the injury report. Like
the comment section there. Kelsey says, Roberto, you just wrote it for me. You just said they lost before I saw it on TV.
It's saving you the pain.
Oh my gosh. It happens. But yeah, anyway, sorry, you were saying?
No, 22 people on the injury report for the Niners.
Yeah.
They're injured. They look efficient. That's because they have good coaching. To me, Mac Jones looks serviceable, like a good quarterback. Multiple touchdowns to the air.
I'm going to disagree with that. I do think Mac Jones is good. I think he got a raw deal in New England.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's not great, but I think he's good. Just to be clear.
Yes. Serviceable.
Yes, I'm saying. Okay, go on. I just had to dispute the one thing. I think he's proven he's not a horrible quarterback.
No. He's definitely all right. You got CMC, which is, I mean, an absolute beast. Like, making history. And you don't plan for him. Like, there's a one play in the fourth quarter or in the third. You leave him wide open. Like, you need to have a spy in that guy at constant times. But the defense
wide open. Multiple times wide open.
I was saying the one, like, he just did a wheeler out right outside. Like, just caught the ball from 3 yards out of the field, made it into like 20 yards. Like, why isn't anyone covering him?
Yeah.
There should always be a person on CMC when you play him.
And there was plays, like we called the one, like the touchdown CMC had, where we were talking about the play-by-play, even where Bobby Okereke was clearly the guy who was supposed to be covering him. I want to see, was it Okereke? I'm second-guessing myself on who the player was. But either way,
it looked pretty good today.
I'm saying you could tell that whoever's going to cover him, he did motion going on from the right side of the quarterback to the left side, and then nobody slipped the coverage over. And as a result, they had to go across the whole way and ran like 4 players, and CMC was wide open with nobody on him for that touchdown.
Yep.
Absolutely ridiculous. That's 7-point difference right there. You had the missed field goal today by Graham Gano. So glad we got him back, right? And I hate to be like jackass because listen, if we're going to be honest about it, you're going to lose a couple of field goals. That's in the season. That's life. But that wasn't a ridiculously far field goal, and I think it just adds on because we kept him supposedly because he's a great kicker, even though all the injury issues we had. And then you miss one. I mean, we lost this game, guys, by 10 points. There was 3 of them right there. Now all of a sudden, like, does that thing change? Is that a momentum swing at that point? I don't know. And I'm not trying to say that Graham Gano cost us the game. He did not. Let me be very clear on that. But it's one of the issues I look at. You know, you look at the drops. Slayton drops an obvious, easy touchdown catch in the end zone at that point there. You know, which we did end up getting that touchdown anyway, so that didn't change the final outcome of the score. But you know, you then you throw into it and say that, you know, look what happened with the freaking you know, the drops by Theo Johnson.
That's a Theo
there. Like, it's just absolutely goddamn ridiculous.
I know Theo Johnson got for Halloween this year a whole bunch of Butterfingers.
Oh God, it's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous there. And then, you know, Slayton moving backwards on multiple passes. Like, there's very few players, and I'm going to kind of steal what Jay said because he's right. What he said during the game, even he said, there's very few players that can effectively move backwards in the NFL and not have it turn out horrendous. Wan'Dale Robinson, for the record, is not one of those guys. If anybody has wondered, he's not that guy. And to me, I look at this game the way it went, and I'm like, we're lucky that we have Jaxson Dart at this point. Because he's the only player that actually does anything decent.
Yeah.
Like anybody else but him would have been absolutely embarrassed in this game. Point blank. Absolutely embarrassed anybody else but him.
That's the only like glimmer of hope when I was watching this game. It was like, man, that's our future. Get a healthy neighbors next year. You get them to go. Like it's.
And don't get me wrong, Dart's numbers weren't like amazing by any stretch of the imagination. But it's a theme for players in the Giants this year is their stat line isn't as good as their actual, you know, what you see in the end from them, what you see when you watch the game. You know, like that's point blank what's going on. And unfortunately, Dart is dealing with what it means to be a Giant the last 10 years. You know,
sadly,
the coach is horrendous.
It's at this point, it's 100% on the coach side. You can see the respect that Dart has on the field and the way he commands the field, and everyone lines around him. It's just you have terrible play calling. There's not much you can do.
I mean, how many times did you see it like a third down and we throw this to? Obviously, first off, the first look that Dart had, because you can look and watch his eyes and see that. And the first look he has is the guy that's 2 or 3 yards short of the sticks. Why the hell are you doing that? That makes absolutely no goddamn sense whatsoever. For anybody to have a first read on a 3rd and 8 and the first read goes 6 yards, or a 3rd and 10 and the first read goes 7 yards, that is the dumbest goddamn freaking offense of all time. You should not be throwing short the sticks. There should be one guy like under route or something like that, for just in case the defense gives up a huge gap cushion or something like that, and that's it. Everybody else should pass the sticks. I'm so sick of that because that's multiple regimes I've seen that with on a regular basis. You know?
Yeah.
Joey says they kicked me out of the Giants Insider chat again for at least saying what you guys are saying. The coaches suck. They do. They suck.
Oh my God.
I don't care. I'm going to say it. And you know what? We're the benefit of we're not with a network. We're not owned by the Giants. We're not owned by any podcast network that we can say whatever the hell we want. And point blank, the Giants coaching sucks. Point blank, I'm sick of seeing guys that are 5-10 yards off the goddamn receiver. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand why that issue keeps happening every single goddamn week.
Yeah, week in, week out. Do we not watch our tapes of what we did last week, of what's working, what's not working? Because I guarantee the other coaches around the league are watching our tapes and see what we're doing, and they're mimicking what every other team's doing.
Yeah, it's like we're like so many yards off the freaking field. It's not even funny. Off the receiver, it's not even funny. And when we have guys that are like the Corey Blacks of the world and people like that, you know, it's like, no, we got to do what we got to do. Like, you got to give these guys a chance to win. And you're not giving him a chance to win the way you're playing in the scheme you're playing at that point. The way you go ahead and win with a banged up secondary is causing a lot of pressure, which for some reason Shane Bowen is allergic to blitzing. It's like he's going to go into freaking, like anaphylactic shock if we throw a blitz at the offense. You got to do it occasionally. He refuses to ever do it. So you blitz and you do a tighter coverage at that point. You give a little bit of a cushion, but not 5-10 yards. It's ridiculous. Like point, offense was not the problem today. Again, it was the defense. Top 10 defense. Top 10 defense
on paper. I've seen that comment quite a few times in this in our comment section, but it's true.
It's so bad for so long. It's not even paper. It's papyrus.
Back on a hide.
Yeah, ridiculous. Debs' poor AC actually went to the game. Well, who knows? Maybe he's going to the Packers one too. Maybe we'll beat the Packers. The Panthers did. So did the Browns.
I was about to say they played to the level of competition.
Gotta.
So there's hope for us.
Gotta entertain myself somehow in this whole thing. Oh my gosh. Let's go through real quick the stats, and then we will have more thoughts and go over you guys' comments as well here. I know I've been picking a few of them. It's Jay. There's Anthony. He says it was horrendous, everybody. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Jaxson Dart of the day, 24 of 33, 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. So let's be honest, a good amount of that was also in garbage time with the last run. They got 140 when the game was over, basically for all intents and purposes, and just got that last drive going. He's also the leading rusher. 8 rushes for 56 yards and a touchdown. Devin Singletary.
Also real fast too. Like I'm sure you guys saw on the broadcast, but he's also the best rookie quarterback when it comes to passing and rushing yards per game. He just beat out Daniel Jones of 2022.
Well, he was a rookie then.
Well, I'm just saying DJ that year had 4.
Yeah, I think the record
Dart
was
has 5
with a passing and a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he's tied right now with Tebow's.
He's our whole offense. That's what he is right now. Let's be honest. But Singletary, like I said, quietly had, I think, a pretty decent game for us. 8 carries, 43 yards. Just didn't give him a lot of volume in that for some reason. We just kind of abandoned the run entirely. And we very frank,
playing from behind.
Abandoned it too soon, though. But we were never that far away to abandon the run.
No, they just didn't trust Tracy or Singletary to run the ball. And Singletary had some decent runs today.
That's what I'm saying. Tracy 5 carries for 18 yards, so it wasn't a horrendous day, but again a small amount. So I don't know, what's.
Well, he was limited.
Catching wise, Darius Slayton 5 catches, 62 yards, 1 large drop. I have to put it in there because that would have made that it would have been probably the best offensive play of the Giants all goddamn day. Wan'Dale Robinson 9 catches, 46 yards, would have been probably a little over 50 if he didn't keep moving backwards. Theo Johnson 3 catches, 27 yards and a touchdown and like 17 drops.
I was going to say
Gunnar Olszewski 1 catch, 24 yards, which was a touchdown. I want to see me some more Gunnar Olszewski in offense, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm so sick of the guys we have right now. I want to see some more Olszewski.
Every time he suits up and comes out and plays outside special teams, he's been playing good football. I'm not saying great, but serviceable football where it's better than what we've been putting out on the field.
Well, he's been, remember he did look decent as a receiver in the preseason. Again, it's preseason, I know, but he looked decent. But we're missing weapons, and for some reason, the Giants still refuse to call up Turbo. I don't understand why they're still let's go with 2 running backs. What offense goes with 2 running backs? Plus, we're looking to spark this team, and he's been very good in wheel routes, hook routes, screen routes, that kind of stuff out of the running back position. Hell, I think we could line him up as a receiver right now to be an upgrade over what we got at times.
I would think so.
Yeah,
and he's got that speed too.
And just to preface this, I'm not saying that Turbo's an amazing player. I'm just saying that's how shitty our roster is right now.
I was about to say there's a difference.
Yeah, I just want to clarify before somebody starts going, "Oh, Drew said that Turbo Miller be a Pro Bowler." No, but he's better than freaking Bo Collins and all. I mean, Bo Collins is hurt, so who knows how good he is now. But let's see here: Tyrone Tracy 3 catches, 19 yards. Devin Singletary 2 for 8. Ray McCall 1 for 5. Wasn't even thrown to at all, pretty much. I'm kind of curious to watch the all 22 to see how much he got open. Bobby Okereke was the leading tackler, 7 tackles, 7 assists. Demetrius Flanagan fouls, 6 and 1. He had a bigger role, obviously. The big thing is that Darius Muasau got hurt in the game. So, we unfortunately don't know what that's going to happen with yet, but might be see a lot of more DFF in this game here, this season going forward. Dane Belton, 4 tackles, 9 assists. Deontay Banks, 3 and 1. The sacks wise, you got 1 sack for Brian Burns, which I'm still confused by that play. I want to watch the replay again on that because I could have swore his arm was going forward, which would make it just a batted pass and an interception for Abdul Carter, who caught it. But in the end, they called it a fumble recovery for Carter, which means a sack for Burns. So I'll take it because we want Burns to win the sack title. At least the Giants get 1 title this year.
Yeah.
And then Nacho had a sack as well in there, which was a very big one as well that ended the drive pretty much there. I mean, they had a couple more plays to go, but it kind of killed all momentum of that team overall. Had Jalen Hyatt returning kickoffs to this week too, trying to make sure that Deontay Banks doesn't get hurt playing special teams because, quite frankly, we can't afford him to.
Sadly.
Yeah. So, it is what it is there. On the 49ers side, Mac Jones, 19 of 24, 235 yards and 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, listen, big volume days, but that's what he's been doing the whole season. Big volume, but not really great numbers-wise necessarily. 28 carries for 106 yards, 3.8 yards per carry average. So I can't really complain too much about the ability for the defense to stop the run today in that regard. The 1 touchdown. Brian Robinson actually looked better for them, a backup running back. But he's that big north-south bruiser. Remember him from his Washington days. 5 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown. 4 and 4 for Mac Jones. Had 0 and 0 they're showing for Kyle Juszczyk for some reason. The only thing I think of is he had that one where he tried to take the direct snap, but I don't know why they put it on the stat sheet. Adrian Martinez hit with 1 for -3 for his kneel down. George Kittle, 1 carry for -3 yards. On the receiving side, Christian McCaffrey, 5 for 67 and the 1 touchdown. So he was the leading receiver and runner. Juwan Jennings, 4 catches, 41 yards and a touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, 2 and 34. Kittle, 4 and 32. Sky Moore had the 1 beast, 1 for a first down, 1 for 21 yards. Jordan Watkins, 1 for 19. Kyle Juszczyk, 1 for 12. And Luke Farrell, 1 for 9. On their defensive side, Tatum Bethune was just everywhere, guys, in this game. 8 tackles, 8 assists. Upton Stout, 4 and 2. 3 and 1 for Jair Brown. Sack-wise here for the 49ers, Clelin Ferrell had 1, which that play killed me. I was livid about that play. Like, literally, you're deep in the end zone, and I'm sorry, deep in your territory. You got literally 5 yards before you hit the end zone to get a safety potentially. You have a young running back who, quite frankly, has no clue how to figure out the time yet for the pass rush. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but we've seen it how many times where he's held the ball so goddamn long that I could have gotten to him by then, from Florida. And you don't put anybody back there to protect him whatsoever. And what happened? Farrell goes past him, and then all of a sudden, he comes around and gets him. So, but it's just like, why are you protecting this kid? Why? Like, I don't get it. And then, of course, he had the other sack from the player who I'm definitely going to mispronounce his name because I do it all the time. Whenever we try to mention him all game long, it's like, I don't want to say his name. I'm going to mispronounce it horribly. Okay, yeah, okay. Close enough. You know what I'm talking about. Good old Sammy boy, number 91. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is one of those games where you can literally sit there and say the Giants lost this game, the Niners didn't win it. And I hate to say stuff like that and kind of sound like a jerk, like I'm trying to downplay what the Niners did. Congrats to them on a win. It's a good win for them. But the Giants just point blank played like crap. Anybody I'm happy with besides Dart and Burns.
Burns, he was all over the place. The stats don't show the pressure he was putting on, but Yeah, that defense just didn't show up. They just couldn't stop anything at the end of the day. At the end of the day, listen.
At the end of the day.
They just didn't want to do anything.
Yeah. It's just
it was terrible. Secondary, like they were trying to do too much man coverage and they started doing zone, like, and which wasn't working for them. I mean, their defense doesn't do much anyway, but yeah, this game could have got really, really bad. Very
and it should have. And I felt like it did.
Yeah. And it's almost how the Niners have been playing pretty much since the beginning of the season, since Purdy went out like 5 weeks ago. It's like they're just doing enough and smother the other team.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
We were definitely smothered. We were covered like a Waffle House hash brown. Coming quicker than FedEx. Never reached an apex. Anybody knows what I'm doing here? You're old. You even know what that was?
No. I'm not old like you, Drew.
That was the Bad Bloodhound Gang. Come on.
Oh, yes. You and me, baby. Ain't nothing but mammals.
See, now you know it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Let's get to the comments here where Dip says Rob head to the couch again. You already read out Kelsey's comment that she gave you as well, getting mad at you. Deb says, do we have anybody actually catch the freaking ball? No, we don't. We don't. We lost Neighbors. We lost the whole entire passing offense. It seems like that. And I said it during the game, and I'll say it again for those who weren't on for that part. Point blank, I think tight end's a place we need to look at. I really do. I think tight end's a place we need to look at and figure out what we're going to do, because Theo Johnson is just I'm not going to give up on Theo yet, because he has the ability to get open, and that's an ability. The problem is he gets open and then they throw it to him and doesn't catch it.
Yeah, it's an Ingram problem all over again. He has the ability to potentially be a good player, but potential right now, he's not showing up.
Well, the weird thing,
Ingram had
dropped the ball when it was like a big moment. Theo Johnson just drops the ball consistently.
Well, every moment that he gets thrown the ball is a big moment, because we're usually playing from behind.
Well, you're not wrong there, I guess. At the end of the day.
Listen here, not wrong.
Let's see here. As Pedro's laughing, Dwayne says, if we don't fire Bowen tonight, I'm driving to MetLife and cleaning at his office myself. You might not want to do that, because you might get arrested. You might get arrested for that. Just saying. I'm trying to look real quick too at the catch percentage for. So he's been targeted, and I'm going before this game, and he had some big drops. Obviously, this game here. Theo Johnson, 37 targets for 23 catches, the 62.2 catch percentage. That's not even including today. That's goddamn brutal. That's
terrible.
Yeah, It's 62.2 on the season, 67 last season, which isn't great either. So yeah, we got to figure out something with this tight end position. Let's see here. Deb says, but we have a top 10 defense on paper. I don't think they can even stop paper. I think paper will get a touchdown on this team the way it is right now. And it's Bowen. It's Bowen and injuries, obviously, but Bowen is the big thing. We can't change the injuries right now. Like, that is what it is. The guys are already hurt. But Bowen needs to go. Pedro says, what's going on with Slayton and Theo drop balls? Most important key drops. Is exactly what it is. They're guys who drop the ball.
Yeah, we thought Slayton fixed that problem a little bit last year, but seems like he went trick-or-treating for Butterfingers again.
And Slayton will be a Giant next year, don't get me wrong, because of the contract. But if he doesn't fix it next year, he'll be gone. Hopefully. I say that. People keep being Giants forever. I think all the shows we've probably been the biggest people to like give nice thoughts and comments about Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
But the problem is now he's gotten paid big money. He's getting paid like an actual number 2, number 3, and he's not acting like it. He's not showing up when it matters. He's dropping the ball left and right. Not good. Not good. Dwayne says we have talent, should be top 5 in the league on any other team, but our coaches are in over their heads. I'm done watching this trash week after week on defense. Well, I hate to break it to you. There's more games to go.
Yeah, we're only halfway through the season.
We're halfway there. We're not even living on the prayer anymore.
Yeah.
Dibs-
Whoa, no.
McCaffrey had an interesting comment. He learned about football after he left the Giants. What, Ed McCaffrey say that? Ed McCaffrey was a Giant for a little while. Because Christian wasn't.
But Christian, they made a comment about him leaving Carolina. They say he learned how to play football and get a house. Fun.
Yeah, no, I could see that with Carolina, but yeah, because his dad spent the first 3 seasons with the Giants. That's why I was wondering if that's what she meant. So, you know, but there's so many McCaffreys, it's hard to keep track of McCaffrey. Got to keep your McCaffreys in order. Let's see here. Dwayne says Graham Gano must have a copy of the Epstein files. I don't understand why he's still kicking for us. Listen, if he had a copy of that, let's be honest, his injury would have been death. If that's what would happen. Thomas says Daves needs to go. Yep.
100%.
Quick, concise, and correct.
Right to the point.
Dwayne says Jaxson Dart is an MVP talent playing with JV coaches. Well, that is an insult to JV coaches everywhere. It's just, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Pedro says, what would have been the score if Russell were QBing? Yeah, you don't want to know. It would not have been good at all. Not at all. Let's see here. Dwayne talking about the Giants insider said, Jerry doesn't like me, but I don't care. He's wrong and can't say it's the coaches because they are connected to the team. Well, they're not connected to the team. They're connected to the Believe in Giants podcast. Now, they're connected to people who are connected to the team because they've got a good relationship with some former players, including Carl Banks. But I'll say this. I feel like they haven't been as negative as Rob and I, but they haven't been exactly positive either. So, yeah. They're kind of middle of the road there, so to speak, because they're fans. They want, honestly, their very first thing, they are fans. Let's see here. Jeff says, Dwayne's I'm surprised they kicked you out. Jerry's been pretty honest with the team. Maybe not about coaching, though. Yeah, talk about AC going to the game. Let's see here. Then he says, Dwayne says, yeah, he got mad at me today, but that's fine. I'm going to keep calling it as I see it. As you should. Call it like you see it, man.
100%.
Kelsey gets a sad face. Anthony says, it's horrendous, everybody. I hate 49ers fans as much as Eagles fans. Ooh, that's rough. As much as Eagles fans. Wow. We had one try to trash talk us in the play-by-play, and I was like, yeah, we suck. What of it? Like, you can't trash talk us. Your team sucks. We agree. Like, we watch it. This is not going to be very fun for you on your side. Deb says, I just hope to God they don't ruin Dart. He needs good coaches. Yep. Anthony says, what's the title on Tracy do to this coaching staff? I don't know. He said, I heard Turbo would be a Pro Bowler. Just kidding, Drew. Yeah. I'm always just careful because, like, I say things that, like, should be done. And then people are like, oh, well, it's not like Turbo Miller's great. I'm not saying Turbo Miller's great. I'm just saying you can't run with 2 running backs. You know, like, imagine, if you will, for a moment. Tracy gets hurt again. Singletary gets hurt. You can have 1 running back?
I guess so. I mean, you got Dart.
That's the risk. But yeah, you want Dart running the ball more? Hey, I don't want Dart running the ball more. I'm just saying, like, that's the BS. You know, like, it is what it is. Let's see here. Anthony says, don't forget about the tripping penalty. Yeah, there was a couple of bad penalties overall in that game, to be honest with you. And both sides, by the way, we benefited from some as well. So it wasn't like last week. Jay says they made it look decent. They just care about optics. Deb says, I may have misunderstood. I do remember Ed McCaffrey. Well, maybe Chris was referring to the Panthers. Maybe that's what it was. Because Christian McCaffrey, he didn't play for the Giants. He was Panthers and 49ers. But Ed McCaffrey, spent his first 3 years with the Giants. But I think way before Christian McCaffrey was born.
Yes.
Let's see. He was a Giant from 91 to 93. Which, by the way, is like you're talking just past the Parcells years. You're talking like some of the crappiest years the Giants. It was like what it is right now.
I was about to say, like, similar times.
Jay says, AC, how does that medium Pepsi taste? Fitty says, I don't know how this DC could still have a job. Yeah, we're still wanting this. We've been wanting this for a while. Why does any of the coaching staff still have a job?
Continuity.
Yeah, continuity. Jay says Ed McCaffrey's in the Giants. Yep. He says, but he got better when he left. Well, yeah, that's not saying much. He wasn't bad as a Giant per se. And his best years he had, quite frankly, were when he was with the Broncos in their Super Bowl run years and stuff at that point there. And he's the guy who got better in his late 20s. But he was also a year in San Francisco, and I want to say, was that also with Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan, not.
I was about to say the father Shanahan.
Shanahan, not Kyle Shanahan, since Shanahan was also the coach today, which is weird. Ed McCaffrey, coached by Mike Shanahan. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey by Kyle Shanahan. A little weird, right?
A little interesting, like that. A little father-son action there.
Whoa, that didn't sound good at all. Wow. Not that kind of show.
That around.
Not that kind of show. Though some weirdos are big giving the super chats, probably. Joe says, to be honest, Deb, I love Jerry, but your crush, the Biz, is a massive homer. I don't listen to him anymore. Just BS. Just saying garbage. Jay says McCaffrey and Joe Jaravich, the same shit, left and got better. Again, they went to better teams. They both went to Super Bowl winning teams. Jaravich just went to the Bucs when they won with Gruden. So Ryan Porter says Dable should be fired just because he's held on to Bowen this long. The only thing I would say on that is, and this is not to defend Dable, because I've said very clearly that Dable should be fired a long time ago, as of Rob, but I don't know if Dable has the ability to fire Bowen. Like, he probably has to get that signed off on.
And it's also like we talked about who you bring in.
Well, that's the thing. You have Mark Manuel, who was the defensive coordinator for the Falcons in the past. You also have Andre Patterson, who was I forget who, I want to say that was the Vikings maybe, but he was the defensive coordinator many years ago. So Manuel would be probably the best option because it's more recent. But listen, you can't get worse than this. You can't.
You can just
nope. Can't. I said you can't. I can't do it.
You can't do it.
Jay says when Ed McCaffrey left the Giants, he looked roided out. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. Maybe he was hanging out. What's his name? The linebacker that was like spitting the kid's face in the one time in the game against the Raiders and all. He was in the longest yard. Let's see,
Terry Crews.
He got caught with roids before. I'm gonna look it up. I just put Broncos linebacker spit. Bill Romanowski. There we go. Bill Romanowski.
There we go.
I was forgetting Romanowski. Not the Boz, no. The Boz was in the longest yard too, though, but no. Bill Romanowski.
Because it's Joey Diaz.
Jay with $10 super chats says, thank you.
Sir.
Hope you find employment soon. Yeah, Rob doesn't even know that yet. Rob and I haven't talked about the fact that I don't have a job anymore. He said, there's someone out there seeking a 40-year-old auto guy who moonlights as a podcaster. It's all good. Oh, I appreciate that. Listen, I already have a couple of things I'm looking at here, so I got a couple offers already. I just got to figure out what I'm going to do exactly. See, I'm pondering, making sure all the offers come in so I have the best offer. Can't make a move too soon. Then you regret what you don't take. But no, I appreciate the support, man. Speaking of the super chat here, we're going to pay the bills real quick, and then we'll be back with our final thoughts here.
Thanks for watching. Like the show? Of course you do, or you would have turned it off by now and not be hearing me. There are plenty of ways to support the show. YouTube is the best place to join us, and we offer memberships there with fun benefits like custom emojis and early access to video clips. Of course, there you can also send super chats and stickers to send one-time support payments. The best way to support the show is to buy these drunk idiots beers at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Along with one-time support payments, there are also monthly plans, so you can continue to help kill their livers each month. You can also show people that you are a goofball by visiting our store at 2giantgoofballs-shop.fourthwall.com. We got everything from shirts, hats, phone cases, funny candles, buttons, stickers, and even a 2 Giant Goofballs towel to dry off your goofballs. Of course, you can always support the show for free by simply hitting the like, subscribe, and share button wherever you are watching or listening to this. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. Leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show tremendously, and quite frankly, the Goofballs suck at marketing and need your help to get the word out. Thank you for being part of the Goofball Army and for taking the time out to support the show.
All right, so we got a couple of things. Let's go over a couple of things we haven't talked about yet. Marcus Bowe is in there at right tackle for Jermaine Illuminor. I know a lot of Giants fans were very high on him. We were pretty high on the way he's been playing lately. He did not look good in this game. Like, did not look great at all. I think, if anything, it solidifies what we thought when we first drafted him, but he's going to need a little time. He's going to have to bulk up a little bit. And I still think he's better off as a guard. I'm hoping we go ahead and boost up a new contract offer there to Jermaine Illuminor and move him over to guard. Greg Van Roden and also John Runyon also both might be gone at the end of the year, so both guard positions would be available. He's played guard in college. He's got a little shorter arms at that point. Now, I don't want to overreact over one game, but he did not look good against a not very good pass rush for the 49ers.
No, definitely did not.
Yeah, so got to talk about the uniforms too. They did the legacy uniforms today. I like the legacy.
Love it.
I think those uniforms should be back to being the regular Giants uniforms overall. I want the helmets to be the right color though, instead of that darker blue. I want them to be the color they were back then. That's not how I remember the colors at all. But I want those old uniforms back. And again, we've talked about this before. If the Giants really want to change up the culture, you got to make massive changes. And I think that's one of the things you do. Change the uniform, change everything. But change the coaching staff first, especially defense.
I say that's the first thing.
But you got to change this coaching staff. It's done. I'm like so freaking done with this BS. It's not even funny. They suck. But I mean, right now we're kind of screwed with because of the injuries. We talked about a pregame. You're losing literally both your starting corners in Paulson Adebo, in Cordell Flott. You lose one of your safeties again this week from Javon Holland, who we hoped would play but wasn't able to make it. Then you go in and you get Art Green put on the IR this week as well. One of your backups at that point, who would have started if he was healthy. He's out now for several weeks at least. It's just not a good situation for this Giants defense, and unfortunately, we can't scheme to help them because our defensive coordinator sucks. So
that's an understatement.
Yeah. So it's needless to say, he needs to go. Shane Bowen needs to go. Needs to go. Needs to go. And needs to go.
Yeah. They all need to go. Let's have a fire sale. Let's go. Fire everyone.
Go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Live free or die hard.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, and Deb says injuries. San Francisco sure had a lot of injuries too. 100% right.
That's literally what I said from the get-go. 22 was on the injury report.
Yep. And that's why I'm saying it's unfortunate that we're in that scenario that we can't overcome it because we have horrible coaches that can't scheme to help. And No Name says clean house. Clean house.
That's it.
Get the cleaner.
Get the broom. Sweep them out. Get the vacuum. More efficient.
We went from hoping to sweep the Eagles to hoping to clean house. No Name says McCaffrey is a beast. Yes, very much so. But I mean, again, McCaffrey didn't really kill us. It was a volume day for him at that point. That's what it was. Again, if you look at the yards per carry and stuff, it wasn't that great. It's just 28 rushes. Surprised he hasn't got a hurt yet the way they're using him, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying you can't use a running back that way, but he specifically has had a ton of injuries in his career.
Yeah, well, 28 rushes, but he also, like we said before, he was the lead receiver.
Yeah.
Brought it out.
Yep.
So
that's because we kept on losing him in the scheme. And a lot of it, I think, is the scheme itself and Bowen. I do think some of it is potentially the fact there's so many new people in there. But again, that's part of the scheming thing. If you have a whole bunch of new people and you're worried about issues with communication with players, maybe what we need to do is to go ahead and simplify the scheme a little bit. Simple blitzes, simple man coverage. And like I said, with the one touchdown specifically to McCaffrey, I'll bring it up again because, and again, I want to say it was Bobby Okereke, but I don't want to say 100% it was without watching the film here. But it's like literally McCaffrey was on the right side, shifted over to the left side. There was no defensive shift as a result whatsoever. And Okereke had to try to go across 5 people in the middle of the field to get over to McCaffrey and couldn't get there in time. And McCaffrey was wide open, nobody near him. But that's because they didn't simplify the defense. They didn't simply move things over, and he was, as Alamo says, left open all game because this defense can't scheme for shit. Can't. You know, it is what it is. And Almost says at this point the entire regime has to go. It's been 4 years. They were allowed time to draft, sign, trade whoever they wanted. Results haven't happened. The best season had past regime guys. Yes, time to go.
Yeah. Listen, you guys came in hot. Like we gave us a lot of hope. We're taking it, taking a team that didn't have much talent and taking them to the playoffs and winning. But you guys barely, since year one, have won the same amount of games you did that season.
Yeah, I mean, all together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No name says he got like 2 football fields of yards in us. Yeah, but he had 28 carries. Like, be honest. Like, if we had a running back that did 106 yards, but only had 28 carries to get it, would you say that's that impressive?
It's just the raw like usage of where it came down to tiring out our defense.
Yeah, I mean, Fitty says made Jones look like Montana joke defense. Yeah,
I wouldn't even go that far, but yeah, joke defense.
It was a joke defense. And let's see here. No name says Bengals lost, but Joe Flacco had 470 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Sadly, 2 interceptions probably cost them. Yeah, the turnovers will do it. And that's what's crazy with Dart. He hasn't had a ton of turnovers at all. You kind of expect that out of a rookie, you know? He hasn't. And I don't know.
It's been a reasonable amount.
But I don't know if it's the coaching staff that's kind of like we talked about in the game, where it's not really showing the ball downfield very often. Is that them over coddling him, or is that just him doing pretty good? You know, I don't know. And Almost says, don't trade or move anybody, fire the regime and let them move who they want. Yeah, the new people should. If you're gonna fire the regime, you should let the new people. You know?
Yeah.
Now says fire regime, let the new regime have a clean slate. No name says keep us off the field. That's what makes runs, though. Daniel Jones back to old self, 3 interceptions. McAfee show jinxed him. Well, yeah, good game. But again, we talked about it. And I'm not trying to listen. To be clear, I root for the kid. I want him to succeed. He's a really nice guy by all accounts. But the Colts have had the weakest goddamn schedule. It's not even funny. So I can't sit there and say, that he's turned around until he does it against, better ones there. Alamo says this regime's repetitively kept the trash and let go of the B players. Jay says, Drew, you got no job. Let's go to the Raiders game. I'll pay for your tickets in a room. What about the airfare? That's the expensive part.
It's Vegas. They're cheap. You get under $100 round trip. You're good.
That's the expensive part.
It's going to cost you like $120 round trip for you. You'll be all right.
What week is that game even?
Towards the year, huh?
I don't even know. Now you got me looking it up here.
Great, here we go. Looking it up live in the air.
3 days after Christmas.
I'm dreaming of a Vegas Christmas.
Oh, here we go. He said, I had this deal with Tommy G. He didn't want to pay for the plane ticket. Boo. Listen, I gotta have some commitment. I gotta have some funds right now. I got no job. I can't be flying out the week of Christmas to Las Vegas. It's the 28th. You know how expensive that probably is. Plus,
usually it's the opposite.
Plus, unemployed in a casino is a very bad idea.
Well, listen, you could take all your unemployment check and just put it right there in black. Maybe you would.
It's Florida. The maximum unemployment is $250 a week.
Woof.
Yeah. It's not even worth signing up for, because if I do anything to make money, I got to take it out of that. I'll make that on my own very easily, just doing regular things. So, actually looking to work for some place as a consultant potentially.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a fancy way of saying we don't want to actually pay for your benefits and all. It says kept to watch Slayton like a number 2, while Robinson is the only receiver making catches. He's getting flung around by defenses. It won't last the whole entire defense. Shake my head. My big thing is Robinson. Stop going backwards.
Yeah.
It's like 2 or 3 catches. You keep going backwards. Stop going backwards. Jason sounds like Dave. I understand the question. Did you watch the tape? I'm being honest. No name says there's always Barber College or Manscaped College. Manscaped was sponsors at one point even. I'm sure Roberto will be your first customer. Not if it's Manscaped College.
Yeah, please now.
Oh my god!
Although it's part of the undercarriage, so it's really hard to get to look at. So
Not going anywhere near there. Not doing it. Not doing it.
No, sir, not gonna do it.
Gotta do it. 2 Giant Goofballs OnlyFans account.
Gross.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, Ryan says David was crying at the presser. Is that real? Like, was he crying at the presser? We're on here, so we don't know, but
He may have been.
maybe he knows his job is over. We can hope. We can hope.
They're gonna fire me.
It happens. Ask me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No names get a little crazy. This whole manscaping thing. They make him shine nice. LOL. Oh my. It'll be Kojak's head at the end of this.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's gonna call it a night for us here. But listen, appreciate you guys for sticking in with us during a horrible Giant season and watching and supporting the show there. We'll be back again tomorrow, of course, with our usual 9 p.m. show there. As always, we're live every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, the preferred platform, along with, of course, Facebook, Twitter/X, Twitch, and, of course, Rob's favorite,
Don't take your profile.
my LinkedIn profile. And who knows, maybe the OnlyFans soon, too, apparently. So
Yeah.
I'm going to
Gotta pay the bill somehow.
show my feet.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as always, we're available the next day on all the audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all of the big ones there. If you haven't already, again, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, ring that bell. Appreciate you guys for watching as always. And as always, Giant fans.
Don't do it. Damon.
Thanks for listening to 2 Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.